Here and now the top stories for the hour. A scholar says local and foreign investors should take the opportunity in investing on artificial lake and islands being created by the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. And Ethiopian Airlines CEO speaks of government's plan to set up an $8 billion airport in Addis Ababa. Hello and very warm welcome to EBC World, the voice of Pan-Africanism. With the news, I am Binyam Getana. I'll see you back. Welcome back, and now the news in full. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is a living testament to what Ethiopians will accomplish if they are united, Deputy Prime Minister Temesgen Trune said today. The 13th anniversary for the commencement of the construction of GERD is being observed with various events in Addis Ababa today. The commemoration is observed under the theme Together We Can. During the occasion, the Deputy Prime Minister said the GERD is a testament to what Ethiopians will accomplish in unison by overcoming any challenge facing them. The national flagship project has currently reached 95.8%, he stated, and added that the triumph has been made by the active participation of the people and unprecedented commitment of the leadership. The attempts made by many to obstruct Ethiopia's efforts were futile, Temesgen emphasized. The event is observed with a panel discussion and photo exhibition. It was learned. Meanwhile, the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is a flagship hydropower project will be instrumental to ensure the growth and prosperity of the nation, Ethiopian ambassador to the United States of America, Sleshi Bekele, said. The 13th year of the foundation of the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam was marked as the Ethiopian Embassy in Washington, D.C. under the theme, Together We Made It Possible. Religious fathers, scholars, leaders of various organizations, and those who have contributed to GERD and members of the diaspora attended the event. During the occasion, Ethiopian ambassador to the United States of America, Sleshi Bekele, noted that the GERD is a special project which is being built by the collective contributions of all citizens. GERD would stimulate the economy of the country, he said, adding that the mega project will be vital to ensure the growth and prosperity of the nation. Praising members of the diaspora who have been generously contributing resources, money, knowledge, and time to the project since its inception, Ambassador Sleshi further expressed his hope that such efforts will continue until the completion of the dam. In other development, Ethiopian Airlines, largest airliner in the African continent, continues and grows, and it has a plan of purchasing new aircrafts to expand its destination to make the airline one of the competitive airliners in the world. Talking to CGTN Africa, Ethiopian Airlines CEO Mesfin Tasew also says the government of Ethiopia has a plan to set up an $8 billion airport in Addis Ababa that can handle 100 million passengers per year. Shagoi Matau has the full story.
Ethiopian Airlines, the largest airliner in Africa, is working tirelessly to expand its destinations across the globe. Talking to CGTN Africa, CEO of Ethiopian Airlines Group, Mesfin Tasso, said the air carrier is adding new routes in Africa and Europe and increasing flight frequencies.
Ethiopian Airlines is implementing its 15-year strategic roadmap, which we call Vision 2035. This plan guides Ethiopian Airlines on a fast growth plan. In line with that plan, we are adding new destinations and we are ordering new aircraft to increase our fleet size. This year, we had a plan to open 6 new destinations, and we have already opened up 3 of them. Gatwick in London, Madrid in Spain, and Bangui in Central Africa.
In the next few years, the Ethiopian Airlines is going to build an $8 billion airport in Addis Ababa city to reduce the burden of Bole International Airport, the CEO explained.
The new airport is expected to handle around 100 million passengers per year, which will be the largest in Africa at this time. The construction will be done in 2 phases. It will have 4 runways and it will have around 300 aircraft parking spaces. It's going to be a very big airport. It will be connected to the Bole airport through fast train. That will be part of the design which is going to be done soon.
As for him, the Ethiopian Airlines is also working in different African countries through different airlines in Togo, Malawi, and Zambia, but it has suspended a plan to work with Nigerian airlines due to internal politics.
Africa is our main hub, our main market, and we know that we cannot fly to every city in Africa. That is why we are looking for regional partners who will cover the small cities in every country, and we're establishing strategic alliance with each one. As you know, today we have only 3 of them, ASCA in West Africa, Malawi, and Zambia Airways in southern part of Africa. We were looking for a very strong partner airline in around Central Africa, and we had identified Congo-Kinshasa as the best place to establish our partner airline.
That was Shagao Yamata for the report, and as the news continues, jobs created for young citizens, especially young women, by industrial parks are encouraging, according to United Nations Development Coordination Office for African Director Yakubu Al-Hilo. After visiting the Bole Lemi Industrial Park, the director said he was impressed by the investment activities he saw in the park, especially the wide employment opportunities created for young women. Al-Hilo noted that the job creation should be strengthened. Industrial Parks Development Corporation CEO Aklilu Taddese explained on the occasion the investment-related works being carried out by the corporations and the activities at Bole Lemi Industrial Park. Welcome back, dear viewers. You're watching ABC World from the capital, Addis Ababa, the voice of Pan-Africanism. Now step into another GERD-related stories. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is now home to around 70 islands that have immense tourism destination development potential. Talking to ABC World, the president of the Ethiopian Water Constructors, Engineer Getaun Tagese, stated that local and foreign investors take the opportunity of the artificial lake and islands being created by the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. Tigster Nisa has more on this.
Ethiopians from all walks of life have tipped in from their very sweat and blood for the realization of the construction of the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam GERD. Construction of GERD has reached 95.8%, some 98% of the civil work and 78% of the electromechanical work have already been completed. Approached by ABC World, President of Ethiopian Water Contractors, Engineer Getahun Taggese, stated that since GERD will be creating an artificial lake after completion, he called on local and also foreign investors to take the opportunity in investing in the area.
We can produce around 7,000 fish lake in Guba from this dam. This dam is 246 kilometer water back, for example, from here to Shashamane, let us say. So tourists can, not only tourists, I advise investors of Sudan, instead of claiming, if you invest now this time there, if you plan to invest in the future there, then the ecotourism will increase, also benefit for Ethiopians. So from this benefit, I call to Sudanese investors and Egyptian investors, not only Ethiopian investors. They have to invest in Guba area, in Renaissance Dam area, and make a business in that area. Not only claiming investing is the other direction they have to show. The problem is when once you are in the negative side, you cannot shift to the positive side. Who are claiming on the building of this dam, I advise to shift their eyes to the positive side, to invest and to benefit.
With regard to achieving the impossible, Ethiopia's ambition, Getahun says the GERD is one manifestation of achievement and the unification of Ethiopians.
We got a lesson from this dam, everything is possible. Things seems impossible is possible. So I call up for diaspora or all Ethiopians, we have to think not only for this Renaissance Dam, we have to think in the future. Now we are on the way from dark to light. All our mothers, all our people is going to out from the dark to the light. So in the future also we have to think about how to produce wheat, barley, everything using irrigation projects.
He also called on all Ethiopians to come in unison as their solidarity has been manifested in construction of GERD.
So as we did, I call up to all diaspora and Ethiopian people, as we did in Renaissance Dam, please continue another developmental projects. We will be successful. I am sure that God is with us. We Ethiopians, we will be out from the poverty. So all please cooperate.
The 13th year laying of the foundation of the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam project has been commemorated under the theme, Together We Made It Possible.
Finally, Ethiopians are eagerly anticipating the 13th anniversary of the construction of the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, which began in 2011. With 70 islands created in the dam, Ethiopia is aiming to complete the flagship mega project within the next few months of the Ethiopian fiscal year. With this reportage, Johannes Fantaun takes us through the story.
The dam, which its foundation was laid by the late Prime Minister Meles Zenawi in 2011, has changed the perception that Ethiopia would not be allowed to develop the Abai River and generate hydropower. Despite facing multiple challenges, Ethiopia has been determined to build the dam and generate electricity for over 65% of its population who still depend on unhealthy biofuel resources. Addressing the August body of the UN Security Council, the then Ethiopian Water and Energy Minister and now Ethiopian Ambassador to the US, Sleshi Bekele, said the GERD is a right dam built at the right place for the betterment of the people in the border region.
We are dealing with a hydroelectric dam project, which is not the first of its kind in Africa or in the world. We are building a reservoir to store water that will generate electricity by heating turbines. For your information, the GERD reservoir is 2.5 times smaller than that of the Aswan Dam in Egypt. Perhaps what puts the GERD in distinction from other projects is the extent of hope and aspirations it generated for 65 million Ethiopians that have no access to electricity. It is also unique because the construction of this $5 billion dam is financed by the blood, tears, and sweat of ordinary Ethiopians. The GERD is a right dam built at the right place for the betterment of people in the broader region.
Ethiopia's position is clear. Abai is a transboundary river and it must be used on a win-win approach. In 2015, Ethiopia, Egypt and Sudan signed a Declaration of Principles in Khartoum and several tripartite negotiations followed. The dam is based on international conventions on the utilization of transboundary rivers and is not intended to harm lower riparian countries.
Now, a key part of the problem here is a distributional question. It's about the question about who in Egypt actually controls the land and the water. Because a lot of the Egyptian government's narrative is about poor farmers being evicted of their land and no longer having water flow to their fields. But in reality, the overwhelming majority of water and of land are controlled either by the army directly or a series of companies that are associated with the security apparatus and with the army. And so then you begin to understand, of course, that this entire argument about Egypt potentially being brought to its knees and facing this kind of existential Malthusian crisis is not quite what is actually happening on the ground.
GERD offers enormous potential for regional development and integration in the Horn of Africa and Africa at large, serving as an inspiration for cooperation and coalition building among African countries. It also has potential for tourist development and showing renewable energy, which is crucial for African economic self-reliance.
Now, Egypt can say, of course, oh, this dam is illegitimate, it is dangerous. Well, it's being constructed in Ethiopian territory. Ethiopia is well within its rights to do so. Ethiopia has provided information and has consulted Egypt, but ultimately this is an Ethiopian project. So if Ethiopia can get the internal politics right, it can finance the entire operation, get the technical details right, there should be no reason why they can't complete it. Now, of course, again, from the Ethiopian perspective, this is really a dam for regional purposes, and they really want to change the way the countries in the region relate to each other. It is best to do so by talking to the Egyptians.
With 70 islands created in the dam, Ethiopia is aiming to complete the flagship Ethiopian mega project within the next few months of the Ethiopian fiscal year. The dam is the largest hydropower dam in Africa, costing $5 billion USD, and shows Ethiopia's resolve to prosperity. Contributions from various groups, including school children, water fetching women, firewood collectors, public servants, farmers, pastoralists, investors, and foreign citizens have contributed the success of the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam.
And now a recap of the headlines once again. A scholar says local and foreign investors should take the opportunity in investing on artificial lake and islands being created by the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. And Ethiopian Airlines CEO speaks of government's plan to set up an $8 billion airport in Addis Ababa. Well, dear viewers, you've been watching ABC World, the voice of Pan-Africanism from the capital, Addis Ababa. With the news, once again, I've been Binyam Getana. Do stay tuned with the remaining ABC program, and goodbye for me now.